Bronze ingot. Nothing too special. Let's chop down these trees. No, let's not mine the land. We'll do that in a minute. But right now, I want to chop down the trees. And we want to loot anything that is nearby. Like this random logs. Wood. Minerals. We should do like a mass loot just in case. As for this area right here, we seem to be fine. Just do more looting. There we go. And then we should be good to go with making our farmland. It's a very important piece of land. Like I said, we need to make sure that we can sustain ourselves. What I might do, actually, this is probably a good idea, is I should make a sort of cellar around where I just have like multiple layers of places where we can store our food. It will be underground, so we shouldn't really need to see it. So we should be alright there. It just means that I'll have to just make some steps, so it should be alright. These guys should try and get the job done over here. Daily update, we've still failed because we still need more food. That is what we're currently doing. I mean, I think that was the third day. Okay, we're not exactly getting too many people. And I'm not too sure how crazily the game scales when it comes to food requirements later on. But I have to imagine it gets ridiculous to the point where it's impossible for us to name everyone on the series. That is an unfortunate reality. Okay, that's what we're facing right now. It looks like, though, the wall is actually serving a purpose now. We will need to have our guards at the front, though. Although we're not entirely safe around these parts. So we shouldn't really go too nuts just yet. And I'm not too sure how the water's going to connect here. I suppose it just sort of goes around like that. But I'm not too sure how weird that will be. I kind of want to get it done now. You know, just keep going. What we're doing right now is pretty good. So if we go across like this. And then we just sort of make it a little bit uneven. Do that. There we go. And then on this side, we'll probably do something quite similar. But for now, this is not really too crazy. I quite like this. Make sure it's actually going to connect, because I want the water to actually interact with each other. You know, fill in the land. And that should be pretty good. So on this side, then what should happen on this side is it should just sort of curve in about here. And that should be alright. Maybe along here, but that's too much water, I feel. So maybe just along this bit. But for now, I just want to make sure that we are surrounded on all sides. Makes me feel a little bit safer. I'm not sure what's going on around here. I think it's like the water dip effect. But it's just sort of the graphic for it is bugged out a little bit. There's lots of stone down there as well we need to remove. And for some reason they're ignoring my chopping commands right now. Okay, right, let me clear the tasks. You know, they're a little bit slow today. They're suffering from some sort of disease that makes them forget about chopping wood. That's fine. It's very normal in these sort of lumberjacking communities in the world. Merv is like talking under me right now. It's very annoying. Because I feel like his voice is much louder than mine when he's closer to the microphone. Who'd thought, right? Who'd have thought? I don't know who would have thought. Here we go. It's nice and clean here now. So what we can do is we can look at this caravan. Let's see. Give you 15 picket fences in exchange for 5 picket fence gates. Fuck's sakes. Sure. Sure, why not? That sounds like an incredible deal. Picket fence gates. What is it with picket fence fucking gates? Why did the game pause? I'm sure I started it. Whoa. We have a lot more people than I thought. Oh, they're all going to the seat thing. We need to make a proper seating hall, I feel. Or at least make some extra sitting around here. Like, we got a bench that for some reason only fits one person. Where in the world is there a park bench that is only suitable for one person? Like, that's a park chair, surely, not a bench. A bench is usually... Oh, my God. Oh, wow. Usually suitable for 2 to 3 participants, okay? Usually you can have a quite nice party on a bench. I'm just saying. Add a few alcoholic beverages in there. Some popcorn, maybe. And you can sort of watch the world go by. Or at least in the park. It's pretty fascinating. Not something I've done before. Might be something I do in the future. As like a random video. God, I'm not too sure how far that would really go. My ego would have to be way over the clouds. Okay. So, what do we want to make first? Like the house? Or the windmill? Kind of want to make the windmill first. This isn't necessarily going to be like top quality 100%. This is the windmill, but the greatest windmill of all time windmill. No, this is just going to be the windmill. I don't know what I really want to do with it. I mean, I suppose the top of it needs to be slightly further out so that the windmill makes sense. I mean, it's a tower, but with a windmill thing attached to it. And, oh no, I won't spawn it in. I think that's what I should do, because I can't remember which direction a windmill goes now that I think about it. I'm not sure. There's like a rule for it. It's clockwise or anti-clockwise. Probably a bit of both, actually, depending on the wind. I don't know. I don't really know. We should try it, though. So let's do 10. I wanted to make like some sort of cylinder right here. I kind of want to do this, though. It's quite weird. I quite like it doing that. I mean, it's kind of pointless. Well, is it? Not really. That's 9, not 10. Merv's trying to get into the secret room. Oh, the days of yore. Back in the secret room. When we used to have parties. Did we have parties then, Merv? I don't think so. I mean, this seems kind of pointless having that little bit stick out. But I don't really mind it, to be honest. I think it's quite nice. So we should sort of go up with this by a certain amount of blocks. We need to have some sort of entrance right here. So we're going to go for that. And it needs to go up by 5. Just because that's what we've done with the other thing. So here we've got a nice entrance. Although it should be bigger than that, really. If we're going to go 4 across. I mean, yeah, that makes sense. If we make sure it's about this big. This sort of ruins everything, really. Because now the doors are going to have to be quite large. Because otherwise it's going to be quite wide. I mean, that's alright. It will do, I feel. Now, what we need to do is sort of go up by 1 extra block on this layer. Merv, what are you doing? Get over it. There we go. Every single time when I'm recording, I just go nuts. But if I stop to quickly look at something, like I did just then, with the random sounds that Windows was making, he'll stop. Silence. Complete and utter silence. It's so frustrating. He reacts annoyingly to noise. Anyway, enough of the ranting. We need to now use... It's annoying, really, because windows are going to look weird on this. I mean, we don't necessarily have to make windows look weird. That's a good point. We can still use windows. We just have to make this in a very particular way. Okay. What way we are going to do that I am about to show you. Okay, wait. If we get rid of this, what we need to do is go to our flooring and make sure... This is the actual... No, that's road, okay. I had this problem last time when I was making the blacksmiths, okay. I was using road to make flooring, and it kept bugging out when I wanted to make the walls. That's because I was using flooring. Not really bugging out, but, you know, me being an idiot, step 1. And the rest of it is just sort of another step entirely. It's in some direction. I'm not too sure which direction. You have to consult my doctor about that. This isn't the flooring that I wanted to use. I think I had it selected in the floor, in the... No, I didn't. Oh, no, I did. Okay. I had it selected on the road, but I didn't have it selected on the proper floor tile. On the proper floor material select thing. Yeah. There we go. Building type, maybe. What would you call them? Building designers? Sectors? No, I don't want that. Let's get the rubber out. Okay, rubbing these out is never works out properly. There we go. For some reason, the backspace tool or undo tool actually worked that time. That's quite surprising. It never usually does. So hopefully doing this is actually going to give us quite a nice... I always say actually. I keep pointing out my mistakes. And I feel like that's just going to make my mistakes even more prominent in the eyes of people that were previously not noticing them. That's fine. That is A-okay. Now what we can do is get the wall. There we go. It fits nice and snug. This works for some reason. But there you go. That's what I was actually looking for. We want it to be made out of wood. And we don't want there to be stone. We want there to be wood. Columns. Why is it still stone columns? Tudor. Yeah. Tudor sounds nice. So there we go. So now we can have like a proper doorway. Let's see. We want to go for the double door. There we are. That fits nicely. I'm glad I thought of this. This has helped out quite a lot. Now we can have some windows. Oh, that's perfect. See, I was counting, ladies and gentlemen. I thought 10 was the magic number because it's an even number, not an odd one. So stairs, we're going to go... I mean, 2x2 windows, we're going to go in the middle. See? Numbers! No, numbers! Wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Still did it. Still did it right. I'm still good. I thought it was 10, but there you go. 8. I guess because it went in by 1 block extra. That's fine. Don't worry about it. Now, what we need to do is... We're going to make, like, another floor. floor. Wait, do we? Yeah, I'm pretty sure we do. Which is nice and simple to do. Because we just do this, basically. It means we're going to have multiple floors. And it means we've got to be quite careful with it now that I think about it. Because ladders, you know, getting up and down this with ladders is actually going to be impossible. I mean, I'm not really making this out of it actually being useful. It's not going to have any real use. That's for sure. It's actually going in. That's interesting. Do I want it to do that? Ah, moves on my foot. You bastard parrot. I need to trim your claws. Get over here. You're doing nothing but annoying me. Okay. That was quite painful. He flew back. I don't want to place this down because it usually bugs out. I mean, we've saved, so we're all good. What would that look like? It's not really going far enough up for me to really approve of it. Then again, we don't have to do it like this. We don't. We can do what we did last time. Just keep going up with the normal blocks. Try and work around it. This is what we're usually good at. Someone wants to sell their wares, apparently. They can wait. They can wait. This is important. Okay, we'll make the roof for this. What would the roof for this look like? Oh, God. Is that a circle roof? Ooh. Fancy. This is exactly what I want the roof to look like, actually. So that's fantastic. Anyway, continue onwards with our things. So, yeah. We need to basically go back to the flooring and sort of just take over this bit. I mean, sort of annoying. How are we going to do that? I mean, we can make the flooring... Have I selected the flooring? Why is it not working? Oh, no, it is working. I just got to do this. The problem with that is that it ends up going through. What would that look like? Ooh, spooky. Kind of like that. I sort of like it going in a little bit there. This works out. I'm getting my creative person on. I was going to say person. I'm just going to say person right there. I was going to say something beginning with B. It was fantastic. Let's see what this looks like. I like it. This is good. It's artsy. That's why we're here, right? So if we go out, back in. Yeah, we're having this really weird texture issue right now. But that's fine. We can ignore that for the time being. Now, what we can do is just continue building it, really. You know? It's part of the game. We'll go up by probably 2 more layers. Well, no, 1 more layer maybe. I want the windmill to actually be quite large. The windmill's going to be... It's going to take the longest, probably. Yes. It really will probably take quite a long time. Probably, maybe. Possibly. I always make a mystery out of what I'm saying. You know, I want people to guess rather than just sort of outright be like, yeah, it's definitely going to be like this. Instead, I'll say it's definitely going to be like this, possibly, maybe. You know, like I said, add a little bit of mystery to it. Make people think, is it going to be the case, though? Is it not? Or is he just covering his own ass, just in case he can't do it? See, and then you can't blame him, because he said possibly maybe. I did say possibly maybe, ladies and gentlemen, just saying. Right, here we go. It's going in by 1 more block, which I don't want. Actually, yeah, well, do I? No. Yes? No, not this part. So it looks like we're just going to have to go in here. Yeah, so where are we going to go in? We're going to take over this bit. It's not actually taking over anything, but we're going to take over this bit. I think it just saved then. It just saved again. No, it's just being a little bit of a pain. Did that work? Oh. No, it didn't. Interesting. I guess I can't take it over because it's part of the walls or something. I've already done that, though. I've already done some takeovers. It's going to look really weird at a certain point. Screw it. Screw it! It's quite interesting, though. It's not bad looking when it comes to its design. It just means that the top is probably not going to look... I mean, if we get a roof... Can we make a roof? It's quite fat. It's quite a large looking windmill. I think we're still going to go with it. Actually, it might be because I made that... Yeah, I probably did something wrong there. That's fine. We're just going to go in more. By the looks of things. But we're still going straight on all the other sides. On the corners. Not the corners. On the flat surfaces around the windmill is still sort of sticking to its parameters. There we are. So it eventually makes it up to sort of this point at the top. And this is where things start to get awkward. So now we should really have a roof. Oh god, that looks weird. that is a weird, very, very strange looking windmill. I mean, I oddly like it. What the hell's going on with the middle? Let's save before we do this. Everything's going to go tits up. The windmill didn't end up the way I wanted it to because I wasn't really sticking with the design properly. I just kept going further and further in, okay? This is not my fault. It's the windmill's fault. Yeah, actually. That's kind of... It's interesting looking. I quite like it. Oddly enough. We can add to the roof anyway. There's nothing too crazy. But it's quite unique looking. Which is not something I get to say quite a lot about my structures. You know what? Let's go to the windows and see what it looks like when we add some more windows to it. So we do sort of the middle of every layer. We can't actually do one up here. That's fine. We'll just make sure we're doing the middle of every block. There we are. I'm just glad we can get windows in. Because I feel like it looks a lot better with normal windows than with us making our own. That's quite nice looking. Could we do any windows here? Doesn't look like it. But we can have some nice additions to our thingamajig. That's right, our thingamajig. I forgot what it was called. Windmill. There we go. I got there in the end. Let's add some lights along the flat surfaces right here. Do you want like a nice rug going towards it? Maybe not. Maybe not. Probably not really what we want to do. Now we need the actual windmill bit. Right, so this is the hard part. Let's see. Okay. This entire playthrough is going to be... Well, this entire session is going to be the windmill at this rate. Right, okay. Especially with this bit. At least we have the white block, so we can actually get a proper windmill done. I'm just trying to think how it's going to work. Obviously, I won't spawn it in. I'll just let people take a look at it first. I need to try and remember what I used to do. I think I need stone here. I probably don't need stone, but I want to use stone. I want it to sort of attach itself like this. There we go. And then I want some sort of... I don't know. It feels like clamps. I know I don't really have clamps, but it just feels right to me having that. There we go. And then what we'll do is have like a four-way connection. It'll go sort of forward by 2. Because they're not like amazingly far away from the windmill. They're about here, I would say. Maybe 1 block further back. It's going to be 2 blocks thick. So, if anything, if it's 2 blocks thick, it's going to be 1 block forward, really. There we go. That's fine. Now what we do is we get the wood. And this is when things start to get a little bit tricky. So now I can't remember. You know, this is the kind of thing I should really just check up online. You know what? I'm going to do that in a second. And here we are, ladies and gentlemen. I decided to finish off the windmill myself. It was going to take too long anyway, and I want to spend the last 20 minutes of today's session building an actual farmland. So there we go. This is our windmill right here. I'm going to leave it open for discussion, just for, you know, people to think, you know, what should I really do with the windmill? I like it, but I'm not sure if maybe I should try a different windmill sort of design. I think it's quite nice for sort of a medieval style windmill, and also I quite like the roof. Like I said, the game gave us sort of something quite unique that I've not really thought about doing before with a windmill, but it works quite well. I quite like it. Quite. I can't stop saying quite, apparently. Then again, what would it look like in different directions? This is also a good point. So flat, oh god, that's weird. So flat is just, yeah, flat windmill. What about if it's east and south? Oh, wow. I don't know if I like that more, actually. That looks pretty good. But it's not really traditional. It looks like a house now. So really, now what if it's all round? It looks really small. And it won't go up any higher. That's interesting. Well, we'll just stick with the north and east right there. And we'll make sure to go 10 up, which is what I was doing before, for some reason. I've never seen a 10 up before. I guess it can only go to a max of 8, but just said 10 for some reason. There we go. That's our windmill. Pretty fantastic. Let's go ahead and make ourselves sort of like a generic design for our farmhouse, which is going to be right here. We need a road as well to get to this. In fact, we should definitely get this sorted out first, just so that we don't accidentally connect in an unsavory fashion. So let's see, we want to... What road are we using? The lighter coloured version? I think we are. It looks like we are. So I'm going to stick with that. It's going to be quite a small road. But then again, I feel like at the same time, it's going to quite an important part of the map. So we should really stick to doing it 8 across. There we go.